Okay. So I'm here with, what's your name, sir?
Zane Amarales.
Nice to meet you, Zane. I'm Josh Porter.
Hi,
Whoa.
Josh.
All right, so we're here in this amazing vehicle. It looks like 100 years in the future. Mercedes and AVTR collaboration. I caught the live stream last night. I have to admit I didn't make it to the showing. I'm sitting in this module right now. I didn't expect to be this fortunate. So tell me, Zane, tell me about this amazing technology.
Hi, Josh. Yeah, well, what do we have here? This is the interior of the Vision AVTR. And you're right, this Vision is actually based 100 years into the future. And the most apparent difference right away that the user experience has totally changed. We no longer see traditional kind of screens, controls. Everything has just merged into the interior, seamlessly becoming one. Another thing that we're missing is pedals and steering wheels. Also, those have disappeared. And instead, they've been replaced by the central elements, which we have right here, called the merge control. And you can see right now it's breathing. It's moving up and down vertically. It knows that we're here and it's just excited to get started. And that's what we're going to do right now. So if you take your right hand and just place that on top. So now you feel this pulse of energy going throughout the entire car as it wakes up. And now that moment was this human-machine merge. So now the car has become an extension of yourself. You can feel it's read your heartbeat. And now you can feel this kind of pulsating in the seat. You can feel it in your hand. And now what you can do is, to get the journey going, you can press forwards, because this is now your drive control. But it's not an ordinary drive control. It's a drive control which is there for autonomous driving. So you can now actually take your hand away and the car will take care of itself. And you can imagine this being, you're sitting in this car, you're doing other things, and then if you'd like to speed up, slow down, change lanes, whatever, you can just use this as a slight override to go ahead and give it an additional nudge.
So you're just encouraging the direction, kind of giving it a sense of, because you said it was a merge, so you already kind of are part of this machine, and you're kind of just indicating where it is you'd like to go or what you'd like to accomplish.
Exactly.
And it reads more of you.
Yes, exactly right. But at the same time, it's extending your senses. So we can see this environment right here around us. And you could imagine that being where we are right now as we're driving our car around. And it's augmenting the world around us. First of all, allowing us to see further than we would normally be able to do, almost looking over the horizon. But at the same time, bringing in these augmentations. For instance, it's showing us the flow of wind around us, showing energy moving throughout the environment, just kind of like opening our eyes to what's around us right now.
So removing the limitations of your interaction with the environment of a traditional vehicle.
Exactly right. But we can also, of course, invoke other content. So if you sit slightly more to the left, we're going to try something out. You can now raise your right hand. Great, and now you'll see 3 icons next to each other on your hand. So the menu interface has now just appeared on demand within your hand. So you could be sitting anywhere in the vehicle and then it would appear right there. And then what you can do is you can close and open your hand and then new icons will appear again. And there you go, now you've selected one of the entertainment features and now we're looking at a point of interest up close. So here we are at the Zhangjiajie Mountains, which were also an inspiration for the first Avatar movie. For the floating mountains and that. And you can imagine you're in a new area, you want to understand more of the environment, then you could pull that up and just go look at things up close in more detail.
So you, as opposed to being on your phone and you're in a new city and you're clicking around on like a map or on a TripAdvisor or something, now you're able to just engage the entire car.
Exactly.
And dive deep into where you're at. That's just remarkable. Yeah. And I really feel it too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, the way there's haptic feedback here in the seat and in the armrest, and of course you have the visuals on your hands that appear automatically. There's definitely an integration, a feeling of integration with the machine, which is pretty new.
Yeah.
The only thing comparable might be some of the rides in the theme parks, or maybe something that is like on some of the more sophisticated gaming technologies. Mm-hmm. Nothing like that out there outside of this.
And as Mercedes, of course, we're selling you this car, and it's already this complete, amazing audio system in there, amazing visuals in there. We already have this perfect space. So why not go ahead and use that for more entertainment?
Excellent. Let me ask you a question about the events.
Please don't sit in the back, sorry.
For our listeners at home, there are these really small, wonderful backseat 2+2.
Please get out.
911 looking seats that everyone is excited about, but I'm gonna have trouble fitting in. So can you tell me about the haptic, not the haptic, the actual vents that were in the back on the model?
Yes, that's a good question. So those are these kind of bionic flaps. And as our inspiration comes from Avatar, we were also looking at more kind of anamorphic ways to let the car communicate and express itself. So it has a functional aspect to it, which is that it's like changing the airstream as the car is driving around. It's also communicating, so you can see that when the car is changing direction, you can see these physical flaps then also turning, so it almost becomes a replacement for your traditional indicator. And on top of that, it also just gives the car a level of emotion. So when you're approaching it, these flaps on the back, they're just kind of fluttering ever so slightly, showing you that the car is alive.
I saw clear cues from the movie, the flaps, with some of the characters, right?
Yeah.
Sorry? People are trying to get in the back there. Very good. Well, it's a remarkable piece of kit here. Never quite seen anything like it. Are there any other special technical innovations we should be aware of?
For us, this car is really about extending your senses. So playing different types of senses that we have as a human being, and then when we look at more traditional spaces or interfaces, there's a very large load on the visual cue. So in this way, we're kind of spreading it out. We're making sure not everything needs to be done with your eyes. You can do that. You can read books. You can be looking at your family or whoever else is in the car, and instead being made aware of things that are around you that are of interest to you, just purely through this kind of like haptic vibration here in the seats. A difference between the interior that we're sitting in right now and the show car is that in the show car you also have these flows of energy which are visual within the car. There's kind of like neural network which connects the interior with the exterior. So when information is coming in from the outside, or we're directing energy to other parts of the car because we're turning, that is also ambiently then communicated throughout the vehicle.
Wow, there's so much going on here. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to explain this to us. I'll tell you, just from an energy show's perspective, when we think about 100 years in the future of how we might interact with how our vehicles might change completely, I tend to think in terms of energy. So what is it we think is powering this? Is it hydrogen? Is it renewable energy, fuel, a battery? Is it a small modular reactor? What's going on? You know, in our imaginations, I guess it's anyone's guess, right?
Well, we actually brought our battery expert along from Germany, who is the head of battery R&D over at Mercedes-Benz. And what he spoke about yesterday is, and I'm not the expert on this, is this very advanced kind of battery technology, which is using single layers of graphite and then combined with organic materials to then create this battery which is highly energy efficient and also in storage, but at the same time can then be composted at the end of its life cycle.
I saw that in the live stream and I got very excited about that. So you said reduce, reuse, recycle, but we also talked about full circularity and full recycling capability of storage, which is huge right now, moving away from cobalt, manganese, nickel, all of these kinds of heavy metals that have a supply chain problem and then an end-of-life problem. Very exciting. Zane, thank you so much. I'd like to hang out here for the rest of the show, but I know there's more people that want to get in. Aloha, guys. Take care. Thank you.